You grew a company from 0 employees to 26 employees, and now you are going to let investors in. How even do you do that?
First, it was crazy. Let's just say it like that. I've been a huge hardcore player for World of Warcraft for 15 years. My character in World of Warcraft has like 2,000 days online or something like that.
Welcome back to Blockchain Pill. My name is Alex, and today our guest is Stoll, the founder of Inside Dark Studio, a gaming studio that is developing some of the most popular games on the internet computer right now. It's a pleasure to have you here, Stoll. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with one of the bigger guys on the streaming side right now, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the kind words. It's a pleasure to be here with one of the biggest guys in gaming. So let's start from the beginning. So you are the founder of Inside Dark Studio. What did you do before starting this company?
I was working for two other companies at the time. I was working for a banking company that developed on iSeries IBM. I know a lot of the process in banking. I was working for another gaming project on the ecosystem that we already know that failed, but that's another history. For the banking industry, I was working for around 3 years before I quit that work. And before that, I've been working as freelancer for making websites, all kind of language from HTML up to React, like a full stack developer but on freelancing. And before that, I was kind of on the DevOps side, working for HP, Volkswagen, all big names that are around the 500 venture companies, right?
How do you go from banking to creating games? Because Inside Dark Studio is a gaming studio, right?
Yeah, we are a gaming studio, but we also develop applications, right? So we are in between right now. We have two business units. The kind of develop they do, they refer to the client that they attend to. So one business unit is for the internal client, IDS, and the other unit is for the external clients. So for example, we have around 8 clients right now. We are about to sign contract with other 2, so we're about to move into 10 clients, right? How did I move from banking to gaming? I always believe that the gaming industry and the streaming industry and maybe the entertainment industry is the way to go. I always wanted to get into this industry. I've been a huge hardcore player for World of Warcraft for 15 years, to the point I was competing on tournaments in the MDA, for example, for their Dungeon Mythical tournament.
Were you a PvE or a PvP player?
PvE. And this is because I love to PvP, to be honest, but I live on a far country, right? So PvP for me is a lot of stress in terms of the lag, right? And this is something I try to fix on my games. I don't want lag in my games, right?
The World of Warcraft PvP scene was like so competitive. Myself, I would only be able to go up to like, I believe 1500 arena rating. So not very good at PvP. What was your highest rating?
2K, actually.
2K, okay.
With my old friend Edwin, we used to play 200 matches a week. And this was like on season 1 OC, the one from Born Crusade. Yeah, my character in World of Warcraft has like 2,000 days online or something like that.
When I played Burning Crusade, I believe I was like 14 years old, so I wasn't really good at it.
I believe the same for me, by the way. It was pretty much the same. I was 15 or no less. I don't remember. I was young.
Yeah, no, but it was cool. It's now, like, the magic is gone with the WoW Classic and WoW like Classic Hardcore. It's not the same. I remember like seeing the world for the first time. I was a druid. I was Horde, and I was going through I believe the Barrens, and I was exploring, and I found like a store somewhere on an island, and I thought I was the only person that found that store, and it's so cool.
Yeah, I remember the feeling. Right now I feel like the history is here. The only problem is that the community on WoW is so toxic right now.
Yeah.
And this is something I would like to address, just because the community expect everyone to already know mechanics, because the game has so many years behind, right? Yeah. Being so toxic to other players that maybe they don't know one detail. So, that they're being toxic because of that, right?
Yeah, I think people don't have patience anymore, I think is the problem. Let's talk about what Inside Dark Studio is and how you guys started this company.
Actually, I was playing World of Warcraft. I was with another developer, Suri, at the time, right? Mm-hmm. We actually started the studio together back in May or April of last year. We were playing World of Warcraft and say it would be amazing to have a copy of it on chain, right? On ICP, actually. So we started to develop. Later on, she kind of went another direction and I keep the studio and she left.
So this was recent, like you're playing World of Warcraft recently, and
Yeah, last year.
okay.
April, right? And we decided to build a copy of it pretty much. That copy turned into being Reality of Magnus, right? Reality of Magnus is actually an entire suite of games. They share the gameplay, the NFTs, everything in between, right? So everything is shared in something we call the path of evolution. The path of evolution is your achievements, your playtime, your NFTs, and you will be able to access them from every one of the games in the universe, right? The universe based on a history that there is a temple. One guy kind of mess it up and he goes into the temple and kind of activate the temple, and this activate portals to another dimensions, right?
This is the lore behind the game.
Yeah, this is the base structure of the lore. There is way more than that, but basically what sparked the lore is this very moment, right? And this allows us, for example, to include other IPs on the games. So you will be able to use Boxy War on one of our games, for example, or you will be able to use your Pokéball.
Inside Dark Studio is a gaming studio. You guys are developing your own game, but you're also developing games for other companies on the Internet Computer Protocol, right?
Yeah.
So what games are you developing? Because the first time I saw you recently was Pokebot Studio said that you are developing the demo of their city, of their game. Who are you working with and what's the progress?
So as you mentioned, we are working with Pocket Studio. We are working with Boxy War. We are working with Say. Mm-hmm. You did a video on Boxy.
So cool. And I found like the big guy there in the game, and the game looks very good. Like the world, I love it that it's beautiful, it's colorful. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we are doing some retweaks on that, by the way, to make it mobile. The game is way too heavy. But back to your question, those are the mains. One right now, we are starting to build for Nauts. We are building a racing game for them fully on chain. It's going to be working like a rally game where you play your race and you finish your race, you get a score, and then the score gets compared to the other player. So it's fully on chain.
How did you find out about the Internet Computer, and what made you decide to start developing your game on the Internet Computer and not, on the normal internet, on Web 2?
Okay, so the benefits that we can afford from the Internet Computer are awesome. That's pretty much the answer right there. We had decided to do it on ICP because, first off, it was cheap. We have a fully decentralized structure, right? So we can give ownership of our NFTs. We can give ownership of our games to the community. Our idea is that the studio obviously will get centralized because the studio is centralized. We are centralized. Our idea is to actually launch SNS for each one of the universe we do, right? So, for example, Reality of Magnus is going to be an SNS. Our SNS cell will give total control to the community. So if the community tomorrow decides IDS is not the right fit to actually keep developing the game, they can replace us, right? So that's pretty much our idea between decentralization and everything.
I went over your website and I'm looking at the team, and there is a lot of people in the Inside Dark Studio team. How many of you are there?
Right now we are 26. I want to hire 2 new people, right?
Incredible. So yeah, I'm curious to learn, for the people watching who want to build a business, how do you build a business to up to 26 people? How did you start your business?
I got help from Definity in a grant. But that's one huge help I got. Obviously, the grant ran out, and I needed to find a solution for that. And my solution was actually built for other people. Right? That's where the secondary unit of my business comes out. And what I tried to say with this is that, that there are a lot of solutions to get funding. You just need to be creative enough to actually get the funds for your studio and kind of grow. Right now, pretty much everyone in the studio is under salary. The only person that is not under salary are the chief of the studio. We have 7. DK Lord is our CFO.
DK Lord from the community?
Yeah.
Incredible. Wow. I was actually wondering what he's been up to.
Yeah, he been working with Esminem. He been doing a lot of developing of his collection. I don't know if I can speak about this or he's going to kill me. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, but yeah, he joined us. He has been working with us since the very beginning. He was an advisor to the project, and we decided to make it official like 1 month ago.
Hmm. Hmm.
And give him his right spot, that's CFO. Together, we develop a business plan. There is a lot going on with that. A lot of surprises coming in terms of how we are going to handle user growth. There are a few opportunities, and since this is coming out after ICB, I will say it. We are making contacts with big companies like Hasbro and winning a store on UK. We have some contacts with Flow TV. We have some contacts with Pluto TV. Those two big names on the region for streaming TV services. Our marketing strategy is going to be huge. We just need the funds for that. So we are looking for VCs at this moment. Another thing that's coming on our marketing strategy and why we want to go for toys is because we want to have real life NFTs, right? And this is something I'm working with Isaac on Entago. These are Entago tags, right?
Okay.
On ICP Lab, we are going to airdrop Dark Definity. You will need to go to Definity HQ to get it, though. So to
Uh-huh,
scan
uh-huh.
this tag, right? And get your NFT. And as soon as you do that, you will be able to play with Dark Divinity.
On the Internet Computer, there's a lot of NFT projects. Well, not a lot of anymore, but there was a lot of NFT projects that wanted to develop games. If they come to you guys, what's the process of building the game? Like, do they come with the idea and you guys work on that, or do you come up with a plan and a concept? What's the process?
Well, usually we have to help people on this process, right? A lot of people, when they want to develop a game, they just have the idea of having their game. Right? It's in their minds, and they see their game, but they don't know the process. So obviously, as soon as we get contact, the few first things we say is, to try to have contracts, so we are safe on the legal side of things. And these are the few first things we negotiate. Then we work into having a CDD. A CDD is a game design document that we can base the game on. Based on the CDD, we design the architecture of the game, how the game is going to interact with chain, and we decide all the parameters of the game. After that's done, that's a process that takes from 1 week if the client wants to go fast on those things, and is responsive enough, up to like 3 months it can take, depending on the client, right? This is our experience, right? It can take up to more, I believe. After that's done, we start the development, and we start making a demo, seeing how the people react to the demo, seeing if we need to fix something, and start working on those details, right?
And you create everything in house, like all the in game assets, everything you guys are doing them yourselves.
Depending. If the project has enough money, we can create the assets. That, like, creating the assets is the expensive part. The code, to be honest with you, is actually one of the easier part of the entire thing. Creating the 3D assets, the modeling, everything visually is very expensive.
When are we gonna see the games be playable? When are we gonna be able to take our bots and take them for a walk?
To be honest with you, that there are 10,000 pocket bots, right? That's going to take a lot of time. Not only from us, but from Sean. And you are going to be able to play it like from next week on, like after ICP Lab. That's not a problem. You are going to play the demo. But actually having your own bot, we need to actually have way more people on the staff to do that, because it's 10,000 bots, right? And they need to be game ready.
You mentioned that you started Inside Dark Studio while playing World of Warcraft, and you wanted to have a copy of World of Warcraft, but that is on chain. When are we going to see that? When are we going to play it? Because I love the idea.
Q4 2024.
So it's actually like 1 year away.
Yeah, we have some internal builds on the base structure of it already. So from the Reality of Magnus universe, we have pretty much built internal versions of the trading card game we are building, the MMO RPG, and the turn-based RPG. Those three had internal demos that we are working on. Then we have yet to make the Fortress game, and the other three on the structure, we already have something to display. So we have a dungeon crawler that you can actually play and discover. Then we have the FPS and a MOBA. So the MOBA is offline right now, just because we are going to add the matchmaking system, something we made for the FPS. we are integrating it into our mobile.
What are some cool updates that you guys are working and people can expect from Inside Dark Studio?
We have multiples. After ICP Lab, we are going to have matchmaking on the Battle Poseidon. Battle Poseidon is the FPS. Your metadata on your account is going to be already shared on ICP. You will be able to earn some ancient gold already from the game. Ancient gold is our token. It's an utility token. It's not going to be moved out of there. The tokenomics are in between non-existent because it's just an in-game currency, pretty much. But we are going to have something brightened down so people don't get scared about that. On the Battle for Zion, we are adding mobile support, so you will be able to access it from any mobile device. We are adding the matchmaking and already the NFT support, so your NFTs are going to start being something you can utilize, like skins and things like that, right?
A few days ago, you posted on Twitter a graphic and you said something is cooking in the ICP/BNB integration. And there is this cool graphic. What can you tell us about it?
That's going to be a comic. The idea of the comic first is going to be a digital edition launched between BNB and ICP. So we are making a bridge between the two. The comic will unlock some NFTs on the universe. Yeah, the copy you will access by buying it from BNB or ICP chain. The base idea of this is to bring users to the ecosystem.
When you mentioned that it's going to be a bridge, what do you mean?
Having a connection between the two chains and replicating the assets, right? By replicating, I mean we are going to have a smart contract in both chains. So a canister and a smart contract on BNB. And the smart contract on BNB will replicate every asset we have on ICP if the player wants to move into BNB, right?
Is it similar to CK BTC or CK Ethereum?
Yeah, it's something similar to that.
So you're basically making the CK BNB right now.
I don't want to call it that like that, so someone at Definitive doesn't kill me, and he knows who I'm speaking to.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much.
Why did you choose BNB?
We're actually partners of BNB.
With BNB, like with Binance?
Yeah, so they want to help us. Mm-hmm. They really like us. I actually have a meeting yesterday with BNB. They want October to be the release date on BNB for our games, and they want to help us on growing on users, right? So they ask us to make an integration and to actually help us on marketing and things like that, right?
That's great news. That's really great news. I believe that when your games are going to come out, that's when we're going to see a marketing push showing your games to the community. So the first game is going to be the FPS, right?
Yeah, the FPS and the MOBA is going to get a retweak. Mm-hmm. And those two are going to be the biggest one. We tried to make some fun marketing campaigns. For example, like I mentioned earlier, the Entagle campaign. We want to go two ways. The expensive way, where, for example, you go to a restaurant and you have a big statue of Dark One, and if you scan the NFC code, you get your tokens, you get your NFT and so on. But then the easy one, the user one, the mode, like we call it in my country, we are going to deliver stickers with an Entagle code. The player that gets the sticker, when the sticker gets scanned and the other people receive NFTs or receive tokens, they are going to receive. Mm-hmm. So basically, they are making our campaign for us, and that will help us grow. The idea of these stickers is that, for example, we have them all around the world, and you can even like have the stickers on Pokemon style, where you see a sticker is on some location and you go scan it, So this will allow us to kind of interact with the real world a lot and kind of have a Pokemon Go adventure with our own kind of NFTs and tokens.
That was crazy. Like with Pokemon Go, it was been so crazy because it was the time when I saw for the first time like so many people in all the parks and everybody was going like with their phone, like hundreds or thousands of people. It's incredible. Yeah. If somebody told me that there will be a game that will get people out of their homes, I would have said no, it's impossible. But yeah, they did. So was Pokemon Go a huge gaming success?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how old the game is, but I believe it's pretty old at this stage, and I still have a lot of people that I know playing that game.
Is it easier to develop an FPS game than it is to develop an MMORPG?
Yeah, it's way easier.
Way easier.
Yeah, like the problem of gaming is not actually the code part, it's more of the thinking the system, right? So when you make a system, you have to be clear how it is affect the game, right? And an MMORPG has a lot of systems affecting the game. That's why it's kind of hard to develop.
So there's a lot of things that have to happen, like you have quests, you have spells, talents, races, classes, everything.
Inventory, economy, trading systems, systems for developing your character in terms of evolution. So you need to make your character your own. You have to have some individuality. So you need to make the character in a way that can be your own build, kind of where you want to make it and not something generic. So there is a lot of things to develop behind it.
Q4 2024, we're going to see Reality of Madness.
The Reality of Madness, yeah.
Are you working with dragons as well?
I haven't met them. I'm going to meet them at ICP Lab.
Yeah, right.
So, no, I'm not working with dragons at this stage. Maybe I'm working with dragons next week. I don't know.
That'd be great, because what you've produced this far, I really like, and I'll definitely be interested to see you guys work together. What is ICP Lab that you're going to?
I'm going to Zurich, to Definity HQ. It's the gaming metaverse ICP Lab. We are going 4 of the studio and Sean. So we are going to be 5 going there. Obviously, Sean kind of being his own thing because, he's Pocket Studio. There is a lot of things coming up next week that will surprise a lot of people. We are going to reveal the cinematic for Battle for Zion, the very first in-game cinematic you are going to see for the history mode of it. Then we are revealing the comic, our marketing strategy, our financial strategy. There is a lot of things coming up.
To have all the gaming builders be in a place and talk to one another and share their development, I can't wait to cover everything that will be happening at the ICP Lab. Is it only going to be from ICP, from the ecosystem, or is it like that? Does it go even wider?
We have 2 kind of presentations, from my understanding. One is obviously the internal one for Definity, where all the teams are going there. I know that they add a few last-minute teams for kind of online. Then obviously we have a few other teams joining in remote, right? Those are the last-minute teams. I know it's kind of a festival in between, so we are participating in the festival as IDS2, and then Definity is participating in there. And there is a lot of blockchain technology, like I know Solana is on this Friday, actually in 2 days. There is a lot of things going on.
And I believe it's going to be streamed as well, so everybody should have a look at that. When are people going to be able to invest in your company? Are you going to do an SNS? Are you going to do a liquidity bootstrapping round? How can people invest that are interested in what you guys are building? Like how can they get a share of that?
Right now, we are on private seat. We only have 2 seats for investors right now. We want to hold a first round for 10 investors, 10 seats pretty much. We already got contacted by a few VCs, and we are having like 5 meetings next week.
Can you share what valuation you guys will raise at and how much money you're going to raise at? Is that shareable?
Right now, no. I am not able to share that information.
So we'll find out after.
Yeah. Okay. After ICP Lab, you will find out. But all I'm going to say to you is that we came so far without an investor behind. So we don't have any investors right now. And everything we came, like the 26 people that we are, came pretty much out of business, making business. So we are a great opportunity to get invested.
Absolutely. And I want us to talk a little bit about this. You grew a company from 0 employees to 26 employees, and now you are going to let investors in. How even do you do that? Like, when you started, did you think you're gonna get here? And it's been like quick. It's 2023. You mentioned you started in 2021.
No, 2022.
2022. So it's 1 year. It's incredible. Like, how was the road that you took? How was the journey?
First, it was crazy. Let's just say it like that. After the obvious, we kind of need to learn a lot on how to actually manage a business. Obviously, I have first Suri as my co-founder. She left the studio. She was a mess with the money, so I'm glad she left. To be honest, Chief started to go on. Francisca came along. She's our operation manager. Lupin kind of chip in with the technology. He's a really good guy with all the development in part of dot framework. So he knows a lot about Unity. He knows a lot about C# in general. That was a great help. Others came along. We learned how to deal with employees. One of the main things in this industry is to actually get people that work, right? So the tech industry in general, not only the Web3, the tech industry in general, you will have 90% of the people that don't work, and they are a waste of salary.
Don't work as in it takes them like a month to do something that they would have done in 2 days.
I will say it takes up to a month to actually develop a button, and
Okay.
and this is kind of in the level of real things that happen to us. We have an employee that told us that making one button was a lot of work.
1 month to do a button.
Yeah, we hired him on December of last year, and he lasted 1 month in the studio.
Yeah, no, I think that's the problem. I'll make a parenthesis here, because you are a developer and you know how much it takes to create a button. But I think it's not only in the tech industry. I think this is a phenomenon that is happening worldwide in all industries.
Always there are people that don't work. Dealing with that is one of the huge things everyone comes to. On top of that, one of the developers we have, a full stack developer, he was a close friend. He was faster than other guys, right? To give you an idea how fast he is, alone he made 3 milestones for a project in 1 week. This guy is very fast, and that was supposed to be 3 months work, right?
Incredible. Wow.
When you have someone in here compared to someone that is not even here, right? So you make that comparison and you see.
Yeah, he was making it hard for everybody else.
Yeah. On top of that, obviously we are very strict on the work-related things. Obviously, we don't overexploit people. Everyone works at their time and everything. For example, when we hire someone, the guy already had a test with us before hiring. And after the test, there is a period of 2 weeks that is kind of the starting point of see how he really works, right? And after that 2 weeks, if he doesn't work well, we tell him and we give them 1 week. And if they don't work, we just fire them. So we are very quick at firing people if they don't work.
So basically hire slow and fire quick.
Yeah. Right now, we already passed through 20 employees on Unity alone.
20 employees on top of the 26 that are still working.
So I fired 20 people on Unity alone.
No, but it still is. It is an incredible feat to grow a company from 0 employees to 26 in 1 year. That is incredible. I feel like this should be more out there. Honestly. And do you have an office, or do you guys work remotely?
For now, it's only remotely. Obviously, we have met a lot of times. For example, for ETH Argentina, I did a talk on a side event for ICP. Like 9 of us meet there. We were all there with our t-shirts and things like that. It was really fun. Our idea is to have an office, but for that we need investors. But our idea is to get investors and at least hire and move our platform up to at least 20 more people. Right? We need Unreal developers. We need Unity developers. We need 3D generalists, we need animators, we need a lot of people, the graphic designers, community marketing.
In the future, when those investors will come, what's the end game? Like, what will Inside Our Studio do? Like, will you work with big names in the gaming industry, or what's the end game?
We have 2 business units, and one will take care of the internal client, and one will take care of the external client. Our goal is to actually grow our AP into something like Warhammer, into something like Warcraft, and then keep growing up from there. For the external one is obviously to keep growing in clients, right?
I want to congratulate you on what you did on building this company from basically nothing to what it is right now. And I'm looking forward to see what you guys will do in the future.
Thank you so much. I think we are going to surprise a few people.
Of course. And I can't wait to see the marketing you do. And for me, it's going to be the MMORPG. I'm looking forward to see the FPS as well, but the MMORPG I think is going to do it for me. Imagine World of Warcraft on chain. I think that will be incredible.
Imagine World of Warcraft on your browser.
And World of Warcraft is like 100 gigabytes right now. That's gonna be a huge challenge to do it, to have it on browser.
We already have solved that issue. So we have an API to stream assets directly from chain when you play.
Well, to stream it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to download the full game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Is there anything that we didn't go over that you would like to share with the community?
That I hope everyone loves the history of Banrak, that we are unveiling all the comic and the history of the game. I feel like we have 1,000 years of history so far written down.
Wow.
So there is a lot of lore behind the game, and I hope everyone enjoys it and it gets big as we imagine.
This has been incredible to hear, and I'm looking forward to see what you guys will be revealing at the ICP lab. Looking forward to see what you build.
Thank you for having me here. Really a pleasure to be on one of the bigger streamers. I don't know if call you a streamer right now, but I feel like that's the correct word right now.
Thank you very much.
And glad to be enjoying the ride, and hope to see all the surprises on the ecosystem next week. It will surprise everyone.
I hope you found this podcast insightful. We definitely learned a lot from Stoll, super cool guy, and yeah, definitely looking forward to see what they will build in the future. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. My name is Alex, and I'll see you in the next video.